After what this dark web hacker saw, he decided never to hack again. Danny was arguably one of the most experienced hackers on the entire internet, but some individuals on the dark web were undeniably more evil. He doubted he'd ever turn his computer on again. During his formative years, Danny spent his entire life on his PC, ultimately finding himself in the 4chan hacking and look-smacking pipeline. This path left him with no real-life friends, as he endured relentless bullying and remained too weak and fearful to retaliate. However, all of this changed when he realized he could employ his hacking skills for personal gain and vengeance. Little did he know, though, that this decision would lead to the worst mistake of his whole life. At the heart of this mistake is Brock, his main tormentor, who epitomized cruelty. He subjected him to daily torment and made his life a living hell. Strangely, this made it easier for him to rationalize his subsequent actions. Brock, despite his many negative traits, was particularly fond of boasting. His girlfriend was attractive, his body was impressive, and his athletic skills were noteworthy. Unfortunately, his intellectual abilities left much to be desired. The turning point, though, occurred when he stumbled upon Brock's Facebook profile as a suggested friend. Then, something inside of him clicked. With the assistance of friends met on 4chan and the dark web, he sent Brock a PDF file to his email, granting him complete access to Brock's laptop upon his opening. That marked the beginning of Danny's descent into obsession. He now had access to Brock's laptop, camera, location, and every facet of his life. When Brock's girlfriend visited, he was prepared. He activated an online dating application, initiating a deceptive correspondence with Brock. His plan successfully convinced Brock's girlfriend that an online lover was real. But he didn't stop there. He inundated Brock's laptop with explicit content, much to the chagrin of his Muslim parents. This unfortunate incident resulted in Brock's disappearance from school, presumably relocating to another town. Regrettably, Danny couldn't restrain himself and continued down a dangerous path. His newfound addiction to meting out vigilante justice consumed him. He started targeting the criminals who would use the dark web to perpetrate their nefarious deeds. For 4 consecutive years, he waged a relentless campaign, making life miserable for pedos, major drug dealers, and even hitmen. He believed himself to be cunning, hiding his tracks effectively, but he had no inkling that he was being closely monitored. Until one day he heard a ping, the Facebook Messenger notification sound. Funny, that morning he hadn't even opened Facebook yet, but he convinced himself that maybe he did and just forgot. Then a message from someone he didn't know appeared. It said, "Hey Danny, what's the weather in Japan like?" Confused, he thought, weather in Japan? I'm on the other side of the world. The name on the Facebook message read James Puckerson. On Danny's other monitor, he started trying to go through James's profile, trying to find any mutual friends or connections. Danny then responded, "Sunny, I hope anyone that knows me knows I hate the rain," while continuing to search James's profile, but finding nothing of interest. The stranger James then replied, "A funny guy. Tell me, Danny, do you enjoy playing games?" Assuming a reference to video games, he suggested, "Yeah, dude, what did you have in mind? League of Legends, Dota, I don't mind." The stranger James then responded, "Oh, Danny, I didn't mean one of those childish games. I mean a real game. You know, the type that involves putting one's life on the line." He let out a chuckle, thinking someone had hacked his Facebook account and was just trolling him. But then the stranger James sent another message saying, "This isn't a joke, Danny. I take these games extremely seriously." Surprised, Danny wondered, how did he know I laughed? There's no way he can see me. Danny's camera wasn't even plugged in, and his Facebook profile had a fake address. So Danny wrote back, "Sure dude, I'm bored as hell anyway," while trying to buy some time and scour everywhere for any small clue about James's location. His search eventually led to an address. When he looked at it, he froze, his blood draining from his face. It was his address. Somehow this person was using his address as his cover. Another message from James then came in. "I see you've gone extremely pale, Danny. What's the matter? Don't believe in ghosts?" Danny couldn't move, realizing this person could see him and knew every move he was making. Another message came in. "Ring, ring, Danny. Ring, ring." His phone then started to ring, but it wasn't James. The caller ID read Mom. He hesitated, trying to act cool, and picked it up. "Hey Mom, everything all right?" What he heard next made him drop his phone in horror. It was an altered, modulated voice, not his mother's, issuing a sinister message.
"Hey Danny, what's the weather like in Japan?"
Panic swept over him as he thought about his mother's safety. The caller ID just said mom with no number. He realized the caller was just masking the caller ID, making it appear as mom to disorient him. Despite understanding this deception, he couldn't help but feel alarmed and demanded, "What have you done with my mother? Where is she?" A deep, disgusting laugh came from the other end.
"The safety of your mother depends on the outcome of our little game,"
the voice said.
"One's life is on the line, but it shouldn't necessarily be the player's life."
Danny then wondered, how can James see me? I have no cameras connected to the Wi-Fi, my desktop camera is disconnected, and I ripped out my laptop camera. "Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice, James," Danny said, picking up his phone to his now open photo gallery. To his horror, there were pictures of him, pictures he didn't remember taking. Among those pictures, one stood out. A picture of him looking at the exact message thread he was reading, taken just a few minutes ago. But what made his stomach drop was the reflection in the glass window behind him in the photo. Brock, with his signature malicious smile, holding his phone, taking the picture. Brock had been in his apartment, hiding, observing him, and now orchestrating the entire thing. Another message flashed on the computer screen. "Miss me, Danny? Turns out you're not the only one with friends on the dark web. You took my life away from me, and now it's my turn."